This is a common problem we get with these older fridges. This is an Electrolux 6291L, and I'll show you the front of it, and it looks like this, so you'll know what it looks like. This is what the controls look like for this fridge. So this fix is for this fridge here, which is the Electrolux 6291L, and it will work on anything else that looks similar to this. When you've got the fixings like that and like that. And that's what it looks like on the front. Now this isn't sparking up on gas. It's sparking, but it's not staying lit. So if you turn it around to the gas, you can hear it sparking. And then, the first thing I must say is, if you do have this issue, first of all, just take that off using a pair of pliers and try it with just the pliers, because sometimes that knob can foul on the fascia and stop it actually working. So that's the first thing to do, is take that knob off and use it with a pair of pliers, and then keep it held in for a period of time. You can hear the ticking has stopped, so it's lit. Keep it held in, let it out, and I don't know if you can hear that, but it's still ticking. Okay, so that's ruled out the fact that this has worn and it's not given its full travel and it's hitting on the fascia. So we've ruled that out. That's problem number one. And if you're really lucky, that's all it is. Now I've stripped these things down loads. Most people will say it's the thermocouple, which I think you can see over there. Oh, you can't quite see it. Hang on, let's have a look. Which is the thermocouple over there. That's the thermocouple. You've also got, let's turn this off again. You've also got this thing here, which when you turn this off from gas, that is the thing that interrupts the thermocouple. I've had that apart before. I've tested everything else before. 9 times out of 10, I've now worked out it's actually this switch. Okay, I've been through the whole thing loads of times, got to that switch and swapped it out, and it's been that. Now the way I can test this is if you can get a new switch, which I'll put a link to at the bottom, or product code or something. Now what you can do is just this section here. So this is the bit that's responsible for turning off the thermocouple and kind of interrupting it and making the gas turn off. That's how it works. Okay, so if you take one of those off and put it onto there, you don't have to swap the whole thing out just to try this. You just take that off, put that on there like that. And if you turn this one to the gas mode, which is all the way down, which is what it's on, this is now testing that, because this one is the actual connection that's making the connection. This one is actually working the spark generator, which you can hear ticking. We've now got this one using working the thermocouple. So if there's a problem with this one on the thermocouple side of it, in theory, this will now light. So we hold it in, just lit, and then keep it held in, let it out slowly, and it stayed lit. So that's now proved that that is the problem, because that new one is working. That's doing the job. The problem is in this actual switch. It's as soon as you let that off, it's not actually making a connection through the thermocouple. Okay, so then all you need to do is swap all the wires over, disconnect it from the 240 before you do that, if you haven't done already, which you should have done, which I forgot to say. So disconnect it from the 240 because that's live there and you don't want to get a shock. So all you need to now do is pull all the wires off, put them all onto that one, and reinstate this. And I think there's a couple of little screws somewhere you can, oh no, it's just held on by the front there. Okay, so that's the easy bit. I won't go through that because that's relatively straightforward, but it is it should save you trying the thermocouple, which I've done 100 times, trying all this, I've done that loads, trying this everything else that you need to try, but this 9 times out of 10 is this thing here. Okay, so try that, and then hopefully you'll have a working fridge. Just a mention on how to get this fridge out. There are 4 screws that are behind these caps. So you pop these caps up, and then there's 4 screws behind them, 2 there, and 1 down there and 1 up there, and that's how you get it out. So you unscrew those, and then you can pull the fridge out. You have to take the cowl off the outside as well. So there we have it. That's how to replace the switch on this particular model of fridge. Like I said, it will work on other models of fridges. If you need to know if you can do this fix on your particular fridge, if you have a look at that data plate, which you can see just down in the bottom corner there, it will tell you which model it is. And then if you go to Leisure Shop Direct, or if you go to Leisure Spares, I think even without having an account, you can have a look at the technical diagrams. Or if you join My Ideal Caravan, I have got downloads on there to check out to see what the parts are on each individual fridges. So you can have a look at the fridge, find the model, and then have a look at the part diagram and see if this switch is actually on that part diagram. And then you'll know, obviously, if you can do this fix or not. Or pull the fridge out and have a look and see if you physically got this fridge. So there you go, that's what you need to do. I promise you, it is 9 times out of 10. I've done this hundreds of times and it's always this switch. Don't bother just checking everything else. I mean, you can do, but if you can get one of these switches, it's worth trying that first, just to rule it out. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, and click the bell button and everything, and I'll see you on the next video.